You know why I'm vacationing in Dubai right now? Because I stopped drowning in RFEs, intake calls, and late night filings. I used to hire freelancers who barely knew what a G28 was. Total chaos. Then I found IMI support, virtual immigration paralegals trained in real case prep, docket wise, and USCIS workflows. Now my calendar's clean, my clients are happy, and my firm runs while I relax. You can hustle or you can outsource smart. I chose freedom. I chose Emmy support.
Hello and welcome everyone to Immigration Talk Show. I'm Napasa and this is Sam, and we both welcome you to Daily Immigration Dose. Thank you so much for joining us. And we are live right now on YouTube and on LinkedIn and X. So please feel free to participate by joining us, commenting. And before we head on with today's discussion, I have this important disclaimer, and that is by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. And I hope that you keep that in mind throughout this whole discussion program today, friends. And thank you for joining us. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Napasa. How are you doing today?
Doing good, Sam. It's been another productive day, and I'm looking forward for the weekend already. So it's a fun Friday so far.
Absolutely. And I think today the topic is also very important. And with that, closing week, as this week has been a lot, we had so many great shows and great videos have been also uploaded from our side. So, friends, I hope you're staying connected with us and also you have subscribed to our channel. If you haven't, then please do it right now. It is at Immigration Talk Show. And the best part is you can also directly get in touch with us by dialing up this number on this live webinar. That is 425-436-6335 with the access code 988888. Participate as much as possible and tell us about your status, where you are living right now, what you're looking forward, or any other information if you have regarding this topic. So I think Napasa, if you can introduce the topic and then we can move ahead with our news update.
Absolutely, yes. So today, we are going to be speaking about, is the US ready for the largest mass deportation program in history? And from all the news that we have been watching, hearing lately, especially in the past days, with none other than our President Trump's administration, I think definitely, yes, we are pretty much ready, and we have been seeing a lot of actions being taken and a lot of forces coming together to make this happen. So, yes, the US is once again entering like a heated national conversation about immigration enforcement, and President Trump has also announced what he's calling the single largest, mass deportation program in the US history, right? If you remember, this is what he said before he even
Mhm.
joined office.
Yeah.
So definitely it is happening, and the plan aims to, dramatically increase the number of immigration and customs enforcement, that is ICE agents, who are operating in large cities, particularly those run by Democrats as well, like the New York City, Los Angeles, and Chicago as well.
Mhm.
So these cities are, of course, known for their sanctuary policies, meaning they offer some protections to undocumented immigrants. And today we're going to discuss more on this topic. So I'm sure that everybody is very interested. Stay with us and feel free to comment what you think as well, and join us in this discussion by also dialing in the number which you can see on the screen. And yes, before we go with the discussion, let's go with our news updates.
Sure. So let me go ahead with my news update, and this is about new US visa rules. Student must unlock social media for approval. So let's see what the news is, and this is the very latest news that the US has just rolled out some new visa rules. And let's say that they are not just playing around anymore. Because this time, friends, it's not about individuals, even it is also for foreign government officials, travel agents, and basically anyone who are trying to help any illegal immigrant. They could be banned from entering the US. Yes, it is correct. And if you're caught helping any illegal immigration, whether it is sneaking people across the border or just helping them to get some fake documents, then also you will be able to won't be able to come to the US in the future. That means your visa may be denied in the upcoming years. So the message is very clear that if you're going to help people break the law, then you can also lose the right to come here. And the Trump administration has also labeled some of the big criminal cartels involved in human smuggling as terrorist organizations. So that means there are tough penalties, more tools to stop this operation, and no safe haven for anyone working with them. And also talking about students, then this part's for you that the US Embassy in India just sent out a warning for all student visa holders that if you're going to skip class or leave your school without letting them know, or if you're going to drop out, then your visa can be cancelled. There won't be any warnings, there won't be any second chance. This is how it's going to happen. And that's not all. If you're going to break the rules now, could hurt your chance of ever getting a US visa again in the future. So, friends, play it safe, go to class, stay enrolled, and also keep your school in the loop. So, this is the news from my side. And, friends, if you think that this is going to be very important for your friends or for any student out there, please go ahead, share the link of this webinar, and also subscribe to our channel. Now, over to you, Napasa.
Thank you, Sam. And the news I wanted to share is man facing deportation after more than 30 years in the US. Well, Karim Tadros, who came to the US from Egypt as a young child in 1989, is now facing possible deportation. And Tadros, now who's 39, has lived in the US for over 3 decades already. He has recently released. He was recently released from an immigration detention center in New Jersey after a judge ruled that it was unlawful, to keep him in custody. So Tadros's case is unique, although his parents and brother are all U.S. citizens, and he has a valid, work permit. A drug-related conviction from 2006 affected his immigration status, and a court had previously decided that he should not be sent back to Egypt, as he could face persecution there due to his Christian faith. Well, now immigration officials are looking for a third country to send him to, and he has been told that countries like Sudan and Libya have already declined to accept him, and Uzbekistan was mentioned as a possible option during a recent court hearing. For now, though, Tadros is required to stay in the tri state area where officials decide on the next steps. So the government has 30 to 60 days to confirm where he may be sent. And that was the news update I wanted to share with you folks. I'm sure you too have news or some stories you want to share about yourself or your family. So please feel free to write to us, comment, or call us on this number, which you can see on the screen. The number is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. So yes, also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. So let's get to our discussion. The topic of discussion today is a very interesting one, and it's about mass deportations, one of the largest mass deportations in the history of the United States. It is happening. We can already see, one step at a time, but it is definitely taking a bigger shape. So, well, I think, Sam, why don't you go ahead and tell us more, whether you talk about the deployment of ICE in major democratic cities or just to let us know more on what is happening.
Sure. And this time, friends, I think as President Donald Trump, before he came to the office, he made up his mind that there will be a largest mass deportation in the history of US. And that's what we have been seeing because the planning is going on. And also, we can see the results, the impacts. It is happening. And that too, very fastly. So it shows that he is a man of his words, and whatever he decided, whatever he is planning or he had planned, is happening right now. So let's see. What about deployment of ICE in major democratic cities? That means there is high number of ICE officials in major democratic cities. So President Donald Trump has shared some plans to send large number of ICE agents into big cities. And those big cities include Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago. And these cities are also known as sanctuary cities. Now, why they are termed as sanctuary cities? Let me go ahead with that. This means that the local officials, or police or city officials, may not fully cooperate or work with federal immigration officers. That's right. That means they are not completely in the favor of the immigration officers. For example, they may choose not to hold people longer just because ICE has requested it. Also, they're not going to share any information about someone's immigration status unless that is required by law. If it is required by law, then for sure they are going to share the information. So this shows that there already is a difference between the two communities, and also they are not having the same perception or the same ideologies. So the question is that why Donald Trump want to focus on these cities? Because these cities are already having their different ideologies, then why is it that they are focusing on them only? Well, according to Trump, what it is that they have millions of undocumented immigrants. That's right. And also the places where he believes immigration laws are not being enforced strongly enough. Because he says that this is important to protect American jobs, to keep cities safe, and most importantly, to make sure that the immigration laws are followed accurately. Now, why is this a big topic of discussion? This is also very important. So, what supporters and what critics say, let's go through that as well. So, according to supporters, what they say that they believe it's about law and order. And they say ICE needs to act where the problem is biggest. And according to them, the problem is in these sanctuary cities where most number of undocumented immigrants are staying, living, and working, and that cities should not ignore federal law. Now, moving ahead with the critics part, they feel that this could be seen as targeting democratic cities. They also worry that even people living here legally in these cities might feel afraid or unsafe. And local leaders in some of these cities are concerned that the approach that is happening right now could make immigrant communities less willing to report crimes or cooperate with police out of fear of deportation. So, this move has sparked a big debate across the country, and some people see it as necessary step to control immigration and also to protect the public safety, whereas others are worried about how it's going to affect the families, workers, and local communities, especially in these cities with large immigrant population. So, as this plan takes shape, it is important for everyone, friends, to stay informed, ask questions, be vocal, and look at the real life impact of these actions on both immigrant and cities. So I think this is what is happening, and this is how we can see how the local communities are also reacting, and why Trump has been chosen these three cities majorly to have ICE raids and to look for the largest mass deportation. So I think Nipas, if you can also let us know about what is the use of National Guard for immigration raids.
Sure thing, Sam. And just to add to your point and to agree, what you just said, it's also probably like a matter of visibility, because when you talk about these cities, also, ICE presence in public spaces like transportation hubs or job sites and even residential neighborhoods, I think this could spark fear and confusion, but and also have some of these unintended consequences, something they did not think about or they don't intend to. For example, like people avoiding schools or medical facilities, or even reporting crimes to the police, because these are much needed, right? These are necessities. And how these cities respond, whether with pushback, legal challenges, or cooperation, that is actually going to shape the effectiveness of the and also the public reaction to the policy rollout. So let's see what happens. And yeah, coming to the use of National Guard for immigration raids, so that's another aspect. Whether if you talk about potential use, of National Guard to assist with immigration enforcement, and I'll definitely talk more about this. But I'll quickly say hello to Christopher and hi Girish. He says hi Sam and Nipa. It's Nipa, not Napa. So thank you, Girish. But it's lovely to see you today as well. And yeah, we will take up your comments a little later, Christopher. Stay with us. It's time for a short break here on Immigration Talk Show. This is Nipa and Sam on Daily Immigration Dose. Stay tuned.
You know why I'm vacationing in Dubai right now? Because I stopped drowning in RFEs, intake calls, and late night filings. I used to hire freelancers who barely knew what a G28 was. Total chaos. Then I found IMI support, virtual immigration paralegals trained in real case prep, docket-wise, and USCIS workflows. Now my calendar's clean, my clients are happy, and my firm runs while I relax. You can hustle or you can outsource smart. I chose freedom. I chose IMI support.
All right, friends, welcome back to Immigration Talk Show, and you're watching Daily Immigration Dose streaming live at 4 p.m. EDT. We are not just live on YouTube, but also available on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. So if you haven't followed us on these many platforms, do it right now, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And with that, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and being a part of this session. I can see a good amount of viewers have joined us. So, friends, go ahead and dial up this number that is 425-436-6335 with the access code 988-888 to be a part of this lovely conversation right now. And, just go ahead, dial up, and do let us know what you think about this topic. Do you think it's going to happen? Mass deportation, or if not, is it fair, is it not? So many things to discuss, and I think, Napasa, you were talking about use of National Guard for immigration raids. So I think without
Yes,
any further
definitely.
ado, please go ahead.
Yes, definitely. And we have seen that in the recent news, right? And it's another aspect of discussion right now. People are debating about it, discussing more about it, and the use of the National Guard to assist with immigration enforcement. I think, while not officially confirmed, but President Trump has previously floated the idea of using military or military style forces to keep and help secure the border and also assist ICE during operations. And we are definitely see that happening. If in fact, even the deportation, the first flight, remember, to India, where so many hundreds of people were deported, that was also military style. So yes, if this approach is applied within cities, it would mark a significant escalation, in federal immigration enforcement as well. And the National Guard, while under the command of state governors in most situations, well, it can be federally activated to support homeland security efforts as well. So, yes, their involvement would definitely help ICE scale up the operations quickly, which is happening, I think, allowing them to conduct, large scale raids or even targeted sweeps in areas that are otherwise difficult to police. So, I think, yes, it also, though, brings up several questions. Many are questioning this, whether the National Guards are, I mean, is it their duty to do this, or do they
Mhm.
have something else? But then, or how will governors in the democratic states respond? Will they resist or comply? Or what are the legal limits of using military personnel for domestic enforcement actions, right? Especially those involving civilians.
Mhm.
So some of these questions are, only obvious that people are questioning. And if you think about the scenario, the visuals, of uniformed troops, working alongside ICE agents in American cities, it could be a little disturbing, unsettling for many citizens and even residents. So supporters may view it as a sign of strength and control, but others could see, it as a troubling outreach also to federal power. But
Yeah.
yes, this conversation also ties into larger discussions about the balance between national security and civil liberties, and how far actually the government should go to enforce immigration laws within the country's own borders.
Mhm.
So, but I think yes, it's only fair, and it's not like President Trump or his administration haven't been vocal about this. They have been loud and clear even before they hit office that,
Yeah.
well, we are going to see the largest mass deportation in the country, and it is happening by hook or by crook, whether they are collateral or totally, pointed to those directions. It is happening, and we see all these sorts of news coming up every day. So I hope folks out there are following us and not missing out on our news as well. It's at Immigration Talk Show here on YouTube. So check us out, subscribe now, and also, share this with your friends so that they can join us and be a part of this discussion. Also, Sam, if you could tell us how this has impacted different industries and also the local economies, it would be great.
Sure. And I think this is, one of the biggest concern about mass deportation plan, that how is it going to affect the US industries and local economies, and especially certain sectors, if I be specific, then farming and food production. So this agricultural sector is mostly for the not for the undocumented, but most of the undocumented immigrants are working in this sector. And also, according to the Department of Agriculture, it is being calculated that nearly half of all crop workers in the US are undocumented immigrants. So that means, a large part of the people who plant, pick, and process our food could be at risk of deportation. Now, there's a major issue, if this mass deportation is going to happen for those agricultural workers, for those undocumented workers, then mass deportation could lead to so many issues. Firstly, farms may not have enough workers to harvest crops on time. That's right. Because farmers, they may not have enough workers, then how they are going to harvest on those plants, those who don't just need the technical things, but also they need to work or harvest manually. Also, there will be supply chain could break down. That means leading to higher prices or shortages. Now, industries like hospitality and construction may also struggle with labor shortages. Now, for example, let me make it more clear for you that there's a New York State which has one of the largest sanctuary cities. And this is also a leading producer of dairy and crops. That means yogurt, cheese, and apples supplies here. So, if workers are going to be removed from these farms and factories, then it could really hurt, both the economy and also the availability of food. So, supporters, what they are saying of this plan, that immigration laws must be followed. Doesn't matter how is it going to be, what the impact will be. Even if it creating short-term challenges for some industry, then also the rules and the policies should follow. But many experts and business owners, what they are saying right now, they are quite worried, they're quite anxious because they are thinking that deporting large number of workers too quickly could really harm key sectors, especially farming, food production, and hospitality, which heavily relies on immigrant labor. So if mass deportation is going to happen, it's not just going to affect those people who have been deported or who are in the process, but it is going to affect everybody, most importantly, the US economy and the industries. And US is known as the world's largest economy. And imagine, if that is being questioned maybe in upcoming years, then how is it going to be? So it can harm farms, businesses, and everyday life, from food on our tables to jobs in local communities. But I think if everything is properly planned and systematic, and the administration have a plan B, then things can be settled, and there won't be food shortages or there won't be any harm to the economy. So this is what the supporters and the critics have been claiming. Now, Napasa, if you can also let us know something about legal and human rights concern. Please go ahead.
Sure, Sam. And, as the scope of immigration enforcement grows each day, so do the concerns about legal protections and also human rights. Many are questioning whether it's fair or not. But yes, on the other hand, the US Constitution guarantees rights to everyone within the country's borders. So not just the people who are here legally, but also undocumented immigrants. So I think it's always best, what I can say is, get to know your rights. Knowledge is power. do your research properly. Every day things are changing, of course, but be guided on the right path. And in fact, there are experts if you need help, and they are called immigration attorneys, who may be able to guide you with your status or what you should do next. And also, if you talk about the rights, not just everyone within the country's borders. So this means that any large scale deportation program must also carefully follow legal procedures, including proper identification, access to legal counsel, and also the right to a hearing. So these three are the steps, of course, that every each one is, each one legally has. And past enforcement efforts have definitely raised concerns about mistakes as well, because we have heard, such as detaining legal residents or even US citizens who are wrongfully identified. So there's also a matter of how and where the raids are conducted, I guess. And community advocates have criticized enforcement, actions near schools, churches, courthouses, and arguing that these spaces should be off limits, to prevent fear and disruption. There has been definitely also an emotional impact to families if you look at that side, that perspective as well. So especially mixed status families where some members are citizens, others are not, it can be severe to them.
Yeah.
And children may be left without caregivers, without clear communication, and families may be separated without little warning, and individuals may be detained or even uh, extend, extended detained, for different periods without clear communication with their families. So that's another picture which we can look at, but it is happening. And legal experts, there are out there who are warning about due process issues, because such as people, being deported without fair hearings or facing language barriers that limit their ability to defend themselves. So of course, enforcement is an important part of any immigration system, and it must be balanced with safeguards, to ensure that it does not violate anyone's fundamental rights, especially to lead to unintended harm. So, this is definitely what we are seeing. But what do I say? The impact has been great. I think we see that, and it's concerning each and every individual, because now we see the fear mongering has become a lot. And whether you talk about media exaggerating or the real situation, but it is happening. People are becoming more fearful, more anxious to whether show up in their workspaces or even in schools. They are skipping schools. They're not even going to their churches or worship places to pray because they're afraid.
Yeah.
And it is happening. So that's, I think we do have so many comments. We should take them up, but we'll just go for a short break. And friends, stay with us. We'll be taking up each of your comments right after the short break. Today, we are speaking about, is the US ready for the largest mass deportation program in history? And what do you think? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. And maybe tell us your reasons. We'll be really happy to hear. Just comment wherever you're watching. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. Check us out on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and on X. And don't go anywhere. This is Daily Immigration Dose with me, Nipa, and Sam on Immigration Talk Show.
You know why I'm vacationing in Dubai right now? Because I stopped drowning in RFEs, intake calls, and late night filings. I used to hire freelancers who barely knew what a G28 was. Total chaos. Then I found IMI support, virtual immigration paralegals trained in real case prep, docket-wise, and USCIS workflows. Now my calendar's clean, my clients are happy, and my firm runs while I relax. You can hustle or you can outsource smart. I chose freedom. I chose IMI support.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration Talk Show. You're watching Daily Immigration Dose, and check us out on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also on X as well. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. So, till now, friends, we have covered everything of today's webinar. We have talked about, how the immigration raids are happening, also how's it going to impact the local community and economy and industries too. And Napasa has also talked about legal concerns and rights. So I hope we have tried our best to make you guys informed about the topic. In case if you are having any doubt, a query, or need to add on some other point, then please feel free to put them on the comment section. We would be happy to have those. Now, let me go ahead with our viewers, and Christopher is here. So, hi, Christopher, and thank you so much for your participation. You're saying Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York as specific targets. These cities are among those where large protests have erupted against raids on undocumented immigrants since June 6. Trump is facing legal challenges and harsh criticism over his response to the protest, especially after the military was mobilized. He urged federal agencies to do everything they can to carry out the largest mass deportation program in history. That's right, Christopher. And very well put up. It feels a little sad that the situation is very chaotic and quite messy because two group of the people have different opinions, have different ideologies, and when they come together, clashes happen. But let's hope for the best. And until and unless you're not going to try out anything, until and unless there won't be any experimental thing, you won't understand what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing. So let's try to be a little cooperative with the administration, and let's hope for the best, and hopefully everything will settle soon. So I think, Napasa, you can go ahead with Meenakshi's comment, and yeah, let's go.
Sure. Meenakshi is asking an important question, I think. So she's saying, should the US government prioritize deporting undocumented immigrants, potentially separating families and disrupting industries that rely on immigrant labor? Or should it focus on providing a pathway to citizenship and addressing the root causes of immigration? Well, Meenakshi, no matter what you and I think our President Trump and his administration has definitely made it a point that this is going to happen. And if you remember, we heard like instead of separating families, they're going to be deported together, if you remember. So maybe that could be another option. But I mean, we have heard, that they are going to, well, of course, if they have the right, if there is an option, if there's a way for undocumented, some of those undocumented immigrants to become documented or to get into status, then that might happen as well. But on the other hand, if there is no option, then deportation is the only way out, I think. Sad but true, and it is happening, Minakshi. Thank you so much for your comment. It's lovely to have you here, and thank you for your point of view. I wish you could join us on call. So thank you, though. Let's take up Jay's.
Yeah. So, hi, Jay, and thank you so much for your participation. So, you are saying deportations will cause food shortages all across America. Okay. No produce, no berries, no cherries, etc. Who do you think grows and harvests your food? Not Americans, shortages mean very high prices. Okay, I think you meant that only. And absolutely, Jay, I think most of our viewers are going to agree with this fact. And it is very well stated that, agricultural sector is going to impact majorly. And it's not about agriculture, it's about the economy of US too. Because if they're not going to have anything on their table for eating, then, money and other materialistic thing goes in vain. So that's right, Jay, and thank you so much for your participation. In case if you have any other pointer or any other information, then please go ahead, and you have made this great point, and I would love to know more about your information. So Girish is here, and hi Girish. Yeah, please go ahead.
Well, Girish, it's really lovely to have you. It's so nice that you've become one of our frequent and regular viewers. He's been showing up in most of our shows, so it's lovely to have you here as well. And I can see you're pretty heated up with your comments today, so I'll read them anyway. So why, when all people talk about illegal immigrants, unlawful presence, visa overstays, and protecting them only in USA, not in other countries? That's right. There are so many others, but this channel, well, this is immigration talk show, and we concentrate more on US immigration. So you're going to be hearing more on our America, and of course what's happening in America. So, and another point he's making is why people are not talking about how did they enter, why did they stay beyond their authorized stay. Why do some advocacy group try to protect them? Let's talk in this way. Yes, USA is a global leader in every field. It doesn't mean illegal immigrants should have loophole to protect them. Why legal America tax money to spend $17,000 on every illegal immigrant to deport? Yes, Girish, I agree. There are so many questions running on in our heads and minds and hearts, and if only we had some other way. Or there are so many questions and mostly clouded ideas right now, because we know and we wish we could do so many things, but we are out of options. I mean, we are not the president, right? Or we don't have so much power to do so much for the rest of um, people who are here like us. So
Mhm.
yes, very rightly questioned, I would say, and a lot to think. Thank you so much for bringing these perspectives to our, show today as well. It is lovely indeed, and of course, these are questions that people have been asking, and they are questioned. These immigrants who have overstayed, they are the first thing they are questioned is why, what happened, or what were they facing that they couldn't go back. But no matter what the situation or the cause, if there is a way out, then they're lucky. If not, then the only other option is to get deported. But Girish, thank you again.
That's right. And Girish, thank you so much for bringing up so much onto the table. And your comments and your questions were very important and very intriguing, of course. How did they enter? Why did they stay? I think we have been talking, right, Nabasa, in most of our shows that, yes, how did they enter? They have crossed borders or they have crossed the seas. And all those very disturbing scenarios we have been discussing and so many case studies. So I think, Girish, that's very important. It's not about that what is happening, but why is this happening? And
Correct.
we have been talking about, and I'll say that it's a great platform where you can directly, just open up with any information or any thought that you have. There's no foundation, no restriction. You can directly dial up this number and just give us a call and let us know what you think more about it. And we are really happy, and it feels so great to have your participation and putting up so many things. Uh, it makes us feel so happy. So thank you so much, Girish. And I think, Napasa, that's all for today's webinar, right? We have covered all the topics. We have taken all the comments, and with that, it's almost the end. And also, weekend is coming, so I'm really excited for Saturday. Also, after a pretty long day, we are going to have some days to relax and chill. So I think that's
Yes,
all, and let's, yeah, call it a day.
absolutely, Sam. And it was the question, is the US ready for the largest mass deportation program in history? I think, well, it is happening. And, President Trump's plan aims to tackle all this illegal immigration at its core. So, focusing on sanctuary cities, and who are all relying heavily on federal enforcement agencies and the military also to help carry this all out. So, I think we are only going to be hearing a lot more on this and a lot more on US immigration. So, to stay updated, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And do not forget to also like and share with your friends and family who could benefit most and be a part of this conversation, or, participate in all these webinars, because there's so much important information that we wouldn't want them to miss out on. So please share, and also check us out, not just on YouTube, but also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram, and stay connected with us. And of course, if you want to get in touch with us, maybe you have some topics that you want to clear out or clarify, write to us. You can contact me as well. My number is 408 This is also my WhatsApp number. Please feel free to get in touch with me, and you can email me as well at nipa@staffingly.com. You can also email sam@staffingly.com. Get in touch with us. And yes, once again, thank you so much, each one of you, for joining us here. Y'all keep having a fun Friday ahead and a very happy weekend ahead of you. So,
That's
thank you
right.
once again. Bye for now.
Thank you, everyone.
You know why I'm vacationing in Dubai right now? Because I stopped drowning in RFEs, intake calls, and late night filings. I used to hire freelancers who barely knew what a G28 was. Total chaos. Then I found IMI support, virtual immigration paralegals trained in real case prep, docket-wise, and USCIS workflows. Now my calendar's clean, my clients are happy, and my firm runs while I relax. You can hustle or you can outsource smart. I chose freedom. I chose IMI support.